I mentioned several times that at the heart of cultural Marxism is this revolutionary goal. It is the forcible overthrow of all existing social conditions. That is literally the last line of the Communist Manifesto. So that's what it says. Many say that the revolution targets Western civilization. And I've been criticised on this basis that, oh, well, you're just sticking up for Western civ. Why are you so obsessed with it? Do you know what? That's not actually my concern. That's not actually I'd say my primary concern. My primary concern is something a little bit different, because I believe that the target is something a little bit different. Note carefully, what is it that they call oppressive? What is it that they say is really perpetuating this sin that they think is blighting society and creating victims? What is it against which they are truly rebelling? All these movements, all these suits of clothes worn by what is effectively cultural Marxist movements. Well, you know, it's carefully curated, this list. It really is. It's actually extraordinary. I'm going to read them out to you, and I want you to think carefully about what is it that's the common theme between this list. Let's start with the family. The Black Lives Matter statement is clear. They reject the nuclear family. They all do. Marriage. Cultural Marxists call it patriarchy. Gender. Cultural Marxists say that binary gender is oppression. That's what they're telling your kids so that they can flourish in new and extraordinary ways that we can't imagine, according to Ros Ward. Sex. Heterosexuality is killing sexual minorities. It's oppressing them. It's harming them dreadfully. And we need to cast off those shackles so that anything and everything is acceptable. Children. They're absolutely, totally pro-abortion. Black Lives Matter, again, their statement of what we believe is quite, or their comments on this stuff is quite clear. They champion abortion rights. And do you know that even the UN now calls it the motherhood penalty when women have children and look after them, which is quite sick in my opinion, but there you go. They call it that. Patriarchy, the fact that many who would lead throughout history have been men. Work, the Marxist utopia does not value work as a legitimate means of bettering yourself. It is not an honourable endeavour. Justice. Black Lives Matter, or at least the movement for Black Lives, of which they are a member, wants to defund the police, close down jails, and a host of other things. To read it is quite alarming and extraordinary. They truly do believe that the enforcement of right and wrong is oppression, and it must go. The state. It's a revolutionary movement that seeks to overthrow government as it is. Religion, rejecting religion. And if I had the time, I could go through a whole bunch of quotes from these people about what they say about religion. Marx himself said that religion was the opiate of the masses. All these things, right? I said, think about what is it that ties them together. There is a common theme in this collection. And the answer is that all of these are God's good things. Actually, most of them are what theologians would call creation ordinances. Things that God has baked into the very fabric of the world, the way it's actually been designed on moral principles. And these things are baked into the fabric of the world and revealed to us for our good and for our blessing. Cultural Marxism rejects morality. It rejects good, and it says that those things which underpin all of these things we've just gone through are oppression and oppressive. Marriage is not oppression. Man and woman were made for each other. Children are not oppression. They are amongst God's greatest gifts and the greatest endeavour of anyone's life. Gender is not oppression. It's precisely how you were made, and it forms part of your life's calling. The state is not oppression. It's ordained by God. Justice is not oppression. We all yearn for the day that all evil will be done away with and judged. And we yearn for the day when righteousness will be reigning supreme. Morality is not oppression. God designed the world. He has the instruction manual. He's revealed it for our good because He is good. Cultural Marxism is an astoundingly sinister business. It says that we are labouring in struggle, awaiting redemption, but that redemption is the destruction of God's good things, all of which we see around us are under attack. But here's the great paradox and the revelation we need. Those good things are actually the answer to human needs. They are liberty. The true oppression is living in rebellion against God. That was the truth of it on the important topic of what is cultural Marxism.